Today is water pump day. Yeah, look at that brand spanking new clean part. I wish the rest of the engine would look that clean. Pressure washed the best I could without touching any of the electrical, but anyway, so let's take a deep dive down here. Let's check this out. Gotta have those words right there, AISIN, to know it's good. So just some quick notes on install. You can see if you peek back here, there's a little bit of water pump gasket, RTV type silicone stuff, and there's kind of a debate going back and forth if you need that anymore, because these gaskets that come here come with their own little rubber seal. See, it's integrated into the metal here, molded on there. Well, this is the old one, of course, and the last guy did put some extra on there as well. So some guys say they put it on with no silicone and or RTV, and it's been fine, but I wanted to make sure that I had full coverage in case of anything, like in case there wasn't a perfectly smooth part on the gasket surface on the block, because I did the best I could to clean it, but what if I missed a little bump and the rubber just couldn't cover it, mold form around it. So I took care of that with some, just to be sure, double insurance gasket material on the front and back of the gasket. Now, one thing to note here is that not all of the screws or bolts are in right now, and that's because, let's see, this one here, that's because the fan bracket actually covers, it goes from here and it goes onto here, and then it goes down here and to here, so you can't tighten this one up at the time that you're drying the gasket material. Let's see here, there's 8 bolts that do go in, and then there's one missing here, and that's going to be for the cover. Where'd you go? Right here. It goes straight through the cover here and through that bushing, and then tightens down. Of course, you need a new O-ring inside here to the water pipe that shoots through the back of the engine. And then you need a new O-ring that'll go in here around the thermostat housing and a new thermostat. Let's see here, what other notes do I have? That should pretty much cover it until I'm ready to put this timing belt on. Then once I get the timing belt on, then I can actually finish up installing the rest of the parts that attach here, and then I'll be good to go to put on the housing up here, the cover plates, and so forth. So just a little update, and I'll be back soon to make sure this timing is right. Right now I have it set at the T, and down here with this little guy, he's supposed to be about 50 degrees from the 0, which is over here on the cover. And if I look underneath, I hope you can see, but there's a little rib here, and that's where I try to get as close as I can to the white dot that's here, and that pretty much signifies that I'm at the right spot. And then I'll see when I put on the belt that all the proper labeling matches up. And so I hope this belt has the crankshaft and the left cam and right cam markings on it. It's important so that when I put it on, I know everything is correct there. All right, get back to you soon. I'm gonna let this dry for a while. All right, give it some time to dry. And now I put on the pulleys down here. This one is doesn't have the tensioner push spring device coming from below yet, because I want to keep this nice and loose so I can get this belt on. Now this is the way that I put it on. Left cam, because that's the left side if you're driving. So, and the arrows point forwards. So left cam is lined up. Then I wrap it down here as tightly as I can and get it onto the crank. And now I'm going to show you where I lined it up with underneath. Okay, can you see that? I sure hope so. But it's lined up there. Now I bring it up this way, and the next step, somebody said once that on the edge of these teeth, they're not as sharp. And see, this tooth, these here don't have a ring like we have here on the outside. So that's supposed to be giving you a hint that this one and the crank go first, and then this is the one you want to slide it on. Now the reason I have a ratchet in my hand is because I like to put it on here, on this bolt here in the middle of the cam. Did I get the 14? What? Oh, I guess it's a 17. Whoops. And anyways, so putting the teeth down here on the lower side, I'll turn this to put some tension through this whole belt all the way back up, and that allows me to slip this on forwards. So that's my strategy that I've been using, and it seems to work really well. Now, I've done the best I can to set up this camera so you can watch me struggle and try to get this on, because that is usually the most frustrating part of the process for most people. So I'm lining up the bottom with my fingers and seeing if I can do this. See, now I've got it on, but I'm not comfortable with where it's lined up. You can barely see that right there. It seems to be one tooth off. So making sure this is ready. Now you don't want to, I don't want to turn this too much, or the cam will kind of pop over. But boom, see that? Turned it a little bit, was able to get it on in the right spot. Okay, so now it's actually, let me move the cam raw. It's actually a little bit loose down here, which, you know, is the point. This guy is supposed to come up and tighten him fairly well. So that'll be my next step, to pop that baby on, if I can find it. And I'm just gonna screw it in slowly from below and then pull out the pin that comes with it. I did find it. So this was the pulley. It's a little bit of an odd view from here, but I'm going to see if I can get this started. So I use a C-clamp to compress this so I can get this little, what you call it, spiky screwdriver thing in there. Those little things you buy from Harbor Freight that have different ends. Well, one of them was a straight point, and that's the one I use for this. Alright, one of the things I want to do is check again to see that I have the right position with my belt here before, and I can see in the mirror on the wall here, the little dot is lined up with the belt. Let me see if I can get it focused. The marking on the belt here. Check it out, my neighbor. It actually works. Carvana. Look at that. Delivering the truck. Brand new Tacoma 4-door. Never thought it would actually happen. Very cool. He's also going to trade in his other, which will be cool. Took like a week though to get it, so it's not like it's some fast process or something. I don't know if you could get it sooner, but I'm just wrapping up this water pump timing belt job. I got everything back together. I'm taking a risk. What I did last time was, and what works well, is if I would start this thing up with the radiator fluid in there and check for leaks before I put the fan on, before I put all the accessories on and covers and all that. But I'm trusting that I did a good job and I followed all the steps and got everything torqued to spec in here. I'm trusting that there are going to be no leaks with that fresh water pump gasket material. New water pump gasket, new water pump, new pulleys, and everything. So I did start up and give it a little test start, and the engine was sounding really nice and smooth. So I'm confident that the timing aspect worked. Now I just need to wait until tomorrow to fill it up with coolant. I'm going to give it the 24 hours like it asked for on the label of the sealant, which I had to use in 2 areas. And so here's the old. So you need kind of a rectangular sealant in here, on the back here. Let's see if I can scoot you in there. In there, around here. So there's no gasket that comes there. It used to be a paper gasket, but not anymore. And yeah, we'll wait a day and see how this goes. There it is. It's coming down. And he's trading in the other red one over there. Sweet. Dude, I wasn't even close before. Now this thing is running smooth and quiet. Listen to this. No rumbles, no vibrations. You could barely hear this thing is on when you're inside the cab now. No more low idles. No more vump, 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 vump coming out of the exhaust. Perfect. This thing is ready to go. Gotta polish up the headlights, do some more cleanup in the engine bay, and get this thing looking perfect. Now inside, I do have some more detailing to do. The detail guys that I got did a crap job. Like skipped this. They didn't even look under these seats, so there's a bunch of crap under the seats. Still, that wasn't vacuumed out, so I'm either gonna get them to come back out or have to do it myself. This thing is running so smooth now. I am so happy. Wish I knew what to do in the beginning to get this fixed, but I'm glad I did go through all the systems and check everything, make sure it's all great. Thought everything was fine and good. I was just out for a drive, test drive, after doing the water pump and timing belt, and I floored it and got up to speed really fast. This thing was rocking. It was awesome. And then once I came to a stop, I'm getting these codes now, which are cylinder 3 misfire and cylinder 6 misfire, and those, and the engines had started running kind of rough and kind of bump, 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 and wouldn't accelerate very well. So now I'm going to be looking into these coil packs and swap them out, swap them around, and see if maybe if the misfire moves with the coil packs. I might need a whole new set of coil packs. I don't know. We'll see. Monday morning, this thing is running very nicely now. So I had the misfire on cylinder 3, which was the second one back on this side, and I swapped that coil over to number 1, which is a real easy thing to do. Just one bolt, pull it out, and then pull the connector off. So, and then drove it, and the computer then said the misfire was on number 1. So I know that coil was a faulty coil, and I took one from another engine, spare engine I had, and popped it in, and now it's running perfectly. So that's good. That problem solved, and should be ready to go on to the next steps. A few things on the interior to clean up, and need to clean out the bed. I'm going to put a bed liner in there, and probably polish up these headlights real quickly. This ain't good. Why do I have radiator juice dripping right there? Looks like there's a leak right in here. My radiator has a leak, and I literally just filled it with new fluid. Yeah, so it's kind of one thing after another on this truck, but I'm glad I'm finding them before I commit to driving this thing. Got a crack right here. Look how bad that is. Starts like here, goes all the way across over to there, and just a little push, I can open that all the way up. So, not sure why that happened, but it doesn't look new to me. I don't know, I would expect it to look a little different. It looks like it's been developing for a while. So if I look over here, there's another one right here. Is that coming into focus here? Yeah, just starting by itself. That's weird. So I guess this radiator is just too old. Luckily I have another one. It's actually fairly easy to get out. There's just 4 bolts. 1, 2, another one goes here, and one goes up here, and it's held on by some hooks, so you have to lift it to get it out. With the fan shroud off, which is another 4 bolts and some clips, I was able to maneuver it right out of here without having to do anything else. I did have to disconnect the transmission lines at the bottom because there's looks like there's 2 here for the transmission cooler, to make sure to disconnect those lines and rest them up inside the vehicle pointing up so that your fluid doesn't drain out. All right, time for the new one. Okay, back at it again. Let's see this little. You see that little puffs of vapor coming out of there. We've got a vacuum going because there were, oh, now it starts to pour. There were 2 minor leaks here at the O-ring and down here at the O-ring for the evaporator, so taking care of that. I had to drain the whole system safely, and now I'm vacuuming out the air so that I can get all that vapor out of there, and then I'm gonna suck back in some R134A refrigerant, and that'll take care of the AC. Otherwise the AC works great. On to headlight polish. So look at this. How do you go from this to that? There's a couple headlight polish kits I have. Ouch! I hit my foot. Bunch of Sawzall blades. This is what happens when you don't clean your garage and you buy some shelves, so you're thinking, yeah, I'm gonna get organized, and then you fill your garage with transmissions and transfer cases and cardboard boxes for shipping Lexus parts and Legos for having Lego events for the community, do some Lego building and bikes and what other tools and parts off of engines, and then you got this and you can't even walk through. Ugh. Anyway, so here's a little like do-it-yourself one someone gave me, which I've never used, but it looks to me like more of a you swipe a sponge type of thing. I like the more intense kit, which now I'm gonna have to search to find, but you attach it to your drill motor and spin that beast. We're gonna do that one. So there's the headlights. Here's a before picture. And I'm gonna use the Mother's new lens. Fast and easy, right? I got a little rubber thing you attach your sandpaper to. This is, I'm using right now the 150, and I'll go down to 800, and then I will go down to this pad with the polish at 3000 and use this to buff it out at the end. So make sure to get this wet. This is how I do it. You do it how you want to do it. Alright, so come on now. Okay. Okay. Well, I've broken my lens 2 times already trying to do these projects. Let's see here. You're gonna be a little crooked, but it works. Try to stay out of the way. Speed 2, high speed. little better. You all switch out. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Alright. That's enough of that. Get this guy on here. 3,000. I'm a little wet. Turn that off. Gotcha. All right. And after. Why is it so blurry? Is that the camera lens? So it starts like this. And I got to that. Still, I don't like it. I think I need to sand down again and get this more clear. So I'm going to do that and then I'll give you a final result. Alright. That's good enough for me. Not as clear as over here, obviously, but much clearer than this. Can't even barely see the reflector in there. This one I can see fully inside, so I'm gonna finish up this side and be good to go. Alright, here we are. Looking good. It's not perfect, and I don't know if you could get a perfect job out of this kit by being a little more careful. I put some polish on this when I was sanding the 3000, but actually the polish goes on here, so I did that as well to buff it out, and then use a rag, nice soft rag to buff it at the end. But yeah, probably some more sanding with this guy, clean this guy off, and a bit more might be able to get these a little more clear. But I think they're fine. Look at this, is a good example of a nice clear headlight. Boink. And then boink. Definitely not clear, but more light can get through. Looks like I spread polish all over the inside of the car when I was doing the headlights. But let's see if we can look in here. Air conditioning down to 45, 43 degrees. I'm good with that. 42. So that just took one can from completely empty, one can of refrigerant. One of these. It's like $5 at Walmart. From completely empty. So we'll see if that holds. Now that I got the new O-rings in here. I don't want to see any more green stuff around this area. Or this area. This is a pump. You can hear it coming, the clutch engaging. Ooh, don't forget that. Nice little pump, vacuum pump. We got this and the gauge set for like less than $100. Just under $100. So, other thing I did while I was waiting on the AC vac was I put on all new, well, used, let's say, but better condition of these guys, this plastic here. And I polished up the chrome bumper. It was had all this glue on it from before. You can barely see some streaks right there, but that's looking a lot nicer. Next, is taking care of this bed liner. Still peeling it up. I don't know if I'll continue that or just clean it up as it is and lay in a plastic bed liner that I have laying around from the other Tundra. But I use the headlight polish to polish these chrome pieces and this one along here. So those are looking better. And just waiting for this baby. Cycle a few times and then I can pick up the kids from school in it.